Welcome to the Flicks and the Nitpicks, and I am your humble host, Nove718, and I am glad to be back at this again. Long time coming. If you ever watch my channel, all three of y'all, my channel has been dormant for the past couple of months. Just been, you already know everybody got things to do, but the channel's always been on my mind. I actually been doing a lot of recording, and there's a lot of old things that I actually will publish out just because, you know what, this is still a film channel and I want to really discuss movies and being heavy in the moment. So even if it's an old trailer for a movie that's already out right now, I still recorded my first time watching it. So at least you'll get my first impressions of what I thought. Hopefully down the road, if you really are subscribed to my channel or come across my channel or even just look on my channel just to see what reviews I actually do have that's out there, maybe you'll see the actual review to a film that you've seen my first reaction of the trailer. Without further ado, if you know me and my channel, I'm a big Spider-Man fan. That's my favorite character growing up since I was a kid. My favorite comic book character, I should say, and his favorite superhero. And if you know this channel, you know me, I never was a big fan of how they made Spider-Man basically Iron Man's sidekick or Iron Man Jr. And I kind of, I felt the same way when I seen the cartoon that this is kind of loosely based on from the Ultimate Universe in the comics, where basically becomes, he became an Avenger in the main 616 universe, if I'm not mistaken, regardless. But where he's much younger and he looks up to the Avengers. In the film, in part, he's basically Uncle Ben. That would be Tony Stark. And at the end of the day, like I said, I'm not a fan of it because Spider-Man has always been a very independent street level character. And that's one thing that I really liked about him, because you could tell really introspective stories, and it doesn't have to be intergalactic. None of that. It's very much in the neighborhood, gangs, mafia bosses, local guys, Shocker, all of that. So I never was against him telling bigger stories because he's actually done that in the comics. But when I was really reading it, it was a lot of the smaller stories, but now in the comic books, it's a lot more bigger stories. Spider-Man took part in big intergalactic stories, if you will. But for the most part, he was always a neighborhood street character. Namely put, your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. That said, I'm really liking what Tom Holland has brought with this character for its relevance in the MCU. And I still like their plays, but I come from, Spider-Man was like a middle-aged character, man. Like, I remember Spider-Man, when Mary Jane said she was pregnant, and I was like a little kid reading that shit. You feel me? Aunt May at one point had passed. They eventually found ways to bring people back. Needless to say, it's comic books, but that's what I mostly known Spider-Man. Spider-Man was mostly an adult. So for me, especially now, and then the Ultimates took part in revisiting how he started as a kid. But I think I've even read somewhere he wasn't even a kid that long in the comics. At least he was, which would make sense. He's an adult longer than he's been a kid. But let's just say that he wasn't a kid long enough for that to be the nature of the character, like Static Shock. He was always a kid. For the most part, we know him as a kid in high school. We don't know a lot of, especially character building plot points in him outside of him being a child. So this is kind of new for me, but I still like what I see so far, especially in the No Way Home trailer. There's a lot of speculation that's coming out now. Hopefully I could put these videos out, this video out, especially timely, put with relevance to the series and relevance to what's going on, with relevance what's going on right now, because the film is coming out literally, if not mistaken, today or tomorrow. Actually, yeah, technically today. For the most part tomorrow, because I'm actually recording hella late at night, early Thursday morning. But needless to say, I'm trying to get these out to you guys as possible so you could enjoy how I look at the trailer and hopefully see how I feel about the film. Don't have my tickets yet, but I'm going to find my way into the movies regardless. But that being said, we have trailer 4, and I love what I'm seeing so far with them merging the universes. You know, I've seen a couple little reviews of the film because from critics that got to see it early. I'm excited. I have a funny feeling we're going to see X-Men. Like John Campea himself has been the first one to coin see Professor Xavier. It wouldn't surprise me. I don't know if it's going to be big, but since we're dealing with the multiverse, there's relevance in merging all these properties that the MCU acquiesce, and instead of throwing them all away, you actually can revisit them and bring these characters back and actually kind of, for some that had continuity all over their place, you could kind of redeem a lot of things, if you will. So I feel like we're going to see a lot of things throughout the multiverse. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if we get a cameo of Wesley Snipes as Blade, or if not that, a teaser to his universe as Blade. That being said, let's just check out the new trailer and see what they got going on.
That spell where you wanted everyone to forget the Peter Parker Spider-Man.
They're trying to be
careful
intense.
what you wish for. We started getting some visitors from every universe.
The multiverse is real?
Okay.
Looks like we got
That's just dope.
You're not Peter Parker.
I am so confused right now.
Parker. We need to send them.
That's so clever how they
Hey,
did
we're about to
Electro.
do something that could break the universe. Run it by us next time.
Deal.
Let's catch some multiverse men.
Peter, you're struggling.
Oh shit. I like how they're merging their worlds and how shit happens when he bends stuff there. Doctor Strange in his movies, and they're bringing it to Spider-Man. They're like, yo, this shit looks sick. This shit looks fucking sick.
Tries to make you choose.
Here goes his voice. Spider-Man. Yeah.
Is that a dinosaur?
Oh shit. We're gonna have a lot more J. Jonah
I'm
Jameson.
gonna need some help.
Like the train thing, homage to the first one, to Toby.
Fight ghosts. They all die fighting Spider-Man. It's their fate.
Oh, that's so cool! Just like the original movie. That's a dope shot. That's dope.
Away from me.
I love how they're doing his character.
Spider-Man?
Yes.
Is that him?
No. This is all my fault. I can't save everyone.
Oh shit. I'm liking this. Yes, 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 yes.
Sorry, kid.
That's a real good trailer. This is what I want from Spider-Man. I'm not gonna lie. I want them to tell deeper stories. Spider-Man did have deeper stories. You can import a lot more dramatic plot points for Spider-Man. Spider-Man, like I said, for me growing up, he was a middle-aged man. Like, he was like legit in his 30s or some shit. Like, he was a grown-ass man at his youngest, late 20s. He was working at the Daily Bugle. He just so happened to be a nerd-ass dude that married a fucking soap opera star. And it was just dope. And Mary Jane was like a bad chick. Like, he was the geek dude that somehow got the bad chick, but she knew him since he was a kid. You know what I'm saying? So it was just like, I'm so used to his stories being more mature, for lack of a better way of getting at. You know what I'm saying? So it's so dope to see that they're actually trying to play up the mature elements. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm really feeling what I'm seeing so far. Even though this isn't Mary J, I like this rendition of MJ, if you will. I wish they would have just called her Mary Jane. But needless to say, I'm really, really enjoying where this is going. I really want to see if they developed a deeper thing with him and MJ, and seeing the scene where he has to make a choice. And I like that, the life or death aspect of bringing this lighthearted almost naivete of this variation of Spider-Man because he's younger, and ushering him into a mature world. But I still want to get him back into a street level. These big ass multiverse stories I'm glad for, but I feel like he should have engaged with this as an older Spider-Man. I would have liked to have seen Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man engaging in these stories. But that being said, I'm loving what I'm seeing. Let's go back to the trailer. So back again because I'm really loving this trailer. And let's just do it again. Let's cue this bad boy up. And go.
That spell where you wanted everyone to
damn.
forget the
They put devil horns on this dude.
Be careful what you wish for.
I like that.
We
The
started getting some
voiceover.
visitors from every universe.
I like how they're slowing the music down to really set a tone of this being, like I said, more action, more personal, a deeper story for Peter Parker to engage with. That's what I want to see for Spider-Man. A deeper Peter Parker, a deeper Spider-Man.
I am so confused right now.
Parker. We need
And
to send
please
them
do
back.
something with Jamie
Thinking,
Foxx.
hey, I'm about to do something that could break the universe when it
I
bias
feel like
next
he's
time.
gonna be from another multiverse. He's not from Andrew Garfield's universe per se. He's just a variation, a variant.
Struggling.
Look, there has to be another way.
They're a danger to our universe.
Have everything you want. While the world tries to make you choose.
That's his voice, though. The guy that played Green Goblin. Forget his name right now.
Is that a dinosaur?
I'll fix this, but I'm gonna need some
That
help.
dinosaur. I guess it's
Flying out
appendages.
into the darkness to fight ghosts.
They all
Yo, I'm really liking Doc Ock, though.
It's their fate. This is why I never had kids.
Do not take this away from me.
Do you know Peter Parker who's Spider-Man?
Yes.
Is that him?
No.
This is all my fault. I can't save everyone.
I'm sorry, kid.
I'm really liking that. I like how they're also kind of transitioning Doctor Strange and kind of like filling in, facilitating the role that Tony Stark did in his life. And it's funny how they met each other with Tony Stark, like, who is this, your ward? And they're kind of very similar in personality too. You know, cocky, you know, a little arrogant. And I like how that dynamic we don't all the way need to lose for Spider-Man to bounce off of and finding something similar like that in Doctor Strange. And it being Doctor Strange and how he met him with Tony Stark, like, yo, this is your ward. I mean, this is just funny. So I'm really liking this. I'm liking what I see so far. I mean, I'm really excited, especially for a kid that really grew up like with Spider-Man, him being my favorite superhero. And being a fan of Into the Spider-Verse as well, especially because Miles Morales is a lot more like me in so many more ways. And I still will tell anyone Peter Parker is my definitive and favorite Spider-Man. But I'm not going to lie, I have a very, I don't know, Miles Morales is very personable for me for what would have probably been very major to me as a child. And I'm surprised I never drawn a Miles Morales before, especially him being from Brooklyn and all of that and into hip hop and everything. Yo, man. So for me, I'm a Spider-Man fan. If there's going to be, well, there's obviously alluding to the Spider-Verse. I mean, that's just without, you know what I mean? Like without guess. You know, but at the same time, we don't know if we're going to really definitively see the three Peter Parkers together, at least in this film. So if we can get it, which I feel like this is the total missed opportunity not to, in some sort of variation, whether we just see them in costume and just hear their voiceovers or actually see them unmasked, standing all side by side, even if for one moment, that would do it for me. I'm not even going to lie, because Andrew Garfield is still my favorite cinematic Spider-Man. I really love this rendition of Tom Holland. And I do have a personal, you know what I mean, for it being the first Spider-Man live action for me to see as a film outside of like that 70s show I caught as a kid, which blew my mind because I didn't even know it existed when I was a child. And when I seen it, it was such a big thing for me. Tobey Maguire being in there would be, just seeing their villains is enough for me. I'm not even gonna lie. But if I could get them all three together, it'll blow my mind. That being said, man, you already know what it is. It's your boy Nove718. Let me know, leave it in the comments below. Talk about it. Let's chop it up about it. Let's keep it spoiler free for those that probably, if you come across it, the film will be already out. You have already seen it. And for those that still haven't, let's just chop it up in the comments below, man. Let me know what it is already. And you already know the drill. Like, share, subscribe. See you next time. And as always, I have a better outro. Chill.
Some multiverse men.
Peter, you're struggling.
Look, there has to be another way.
They're a danger to our universe.
Damn it.
Is that a dinosaur?
I'll fix this, but I'm gonna need some help.
You're flying out into the darkness to fight ghosts.
They all die finding Spider-Man. It's their fate. This is why I never had kids.
You're not gonna take this away from me.
Do you know Peter Parker, who's Spider-Man?
Yes.
Is that him?
No.
This is all my fault. I can't save everyone.